Welcome to another edition of Talking Ball with the Czar. I'm Emery Hunt, the Czar of the Playbook, here on the campus of Carteret High School with head football coach Matt Yascko. How you doing?
How are you?
Appreciate you having me down here today. And coach, right off the bat, you won a state title in 07, 2012. Last year you guys had success at 7-3. How are you able to have success in this landscape of high school football, being a public school, no less?
I think a lot of the ability of the kids to buy into the program. This is a football town. Kids definitely gravitate towards the sport. Been successful Pop Warner program for years here. Very good relationship with the Pop Warner coaches, which helps. Some of my assistant coaches have played Pop Warner here, played at the high school here, so a lot of the consistency stayed the same. The plays, the ideas, the concepts. The bigger thing is, and I got to give a lot of credit to the kids themselves. They buy into what we're coaching them. I think I have a terrific staff, and we're tough on them. We're going to get the most out of them we possibly can. And in order to win in this new landscape, you got to rely on the kids staying home. I mean, that's the bottom line. And I find it. I'm blessed in a way because we haven't been poached too much. There has been a kid too that we've lost, and that hurts, especially in a smaller school like us. Group 2, Group 3, back and forth, and you can't afford to lose the great players. But for the most part, I feel if we win and we win the right way, which we have, kids will stay, and that's what we're going to try to keep doing while we're here.
Now, Coach, the game has definitely changed since we both played high school football, and a lot of differences that a lot of people don't know about, both on and off the field. What are those issues that you have to deal with that are different than what collegiate coaches have to deal with?
Well, on the field, I think is the game has become more wide open. Obviously, gone are the days of the 2 tight ends and the 3 running backs and just try to run the ball and play safe football. The game's wide open now. You're getting 4 or 5 wide receivers on the field. A lot of the game, everybody's going with the new fads, with the spread offenses and things like that. The no huddle, high tempo. So it really stresses your defense out a lot. And in the high school level, where kids are playing both sides of the ball, it becomes an issue because they don't have the time to get off the field and get coached in between series. So it's a constant battle of trying to keep the kids fresh, make sure they're able to be on the field giving 100% effort, and also dealing with the wide open attacks and making sure that they're prepared for it. So it is a challenge. I think gone are the days of the shutout football and the 7-0 games, and it's gone more to the wide open attack. And one of the cross products of that in New Jersey here is a move to try to get 6 officials on the field. We've been playing with 5 for a while, and the officials find that just not enough guys on the field. So you see it's starting to creep into different areas where the game's going to be played on the width and the length of the field. So that's a big part of it. And then also the year-round conditioning, the year-round commitment that is put into football has changed a lot. When I played, and I'm sure you played, it was an August to December thing or November thing, and then you hung up your cleats and went to basketball or wrestling, And now you're getting more and more kids specializing, more and more kids concentrating on one sport. And coaching high school football is definitely a year-round, 365-day-a-year thing. So I think that's a huge difference from when I was in school, no question. The other aspects are the pressures that come along with the recruitment of athletes and trying to get kids to the next level. Everybody thinks their son or daughter is the next full scholarship kid, and it's just unfortunately not true. So something that is a concern, and something that you have to be mindful of, and something that we work hard to try to educate parents and let them understand it. Sometimes easier said than done. Not everybody's a superstar. Not everybody's a full scholarship kid. And lots of times it comes down to just basic size, and it's not a commitment thing. It's not how hard a kid's going to work. It's a genes thing. So, it's something that's very concerning to me. Something that bothers me because the recruiting side of football is very difficult at this level.
Well, you find that conversation difficult to have with parents. Let's say if a parent wants their kid to go to Michigan, but they have D3 talent, and are you trying to
I think there's a fine line. You don't want to crush a kid's dreams. I mean, that's number one. And especially if they're trying their hardest and playing their hardest, you want them to give the effort that they think they need to give to get to that level. And for every time a kid's told no, there is an undersized kid that makes it. You know, you see them, there's stories, but they're a diamond in the rough. And finding the right fit for a kid, could you walk onto a Division I campus and be on a team? Yeah. Or could you go to D3 route, play, be a 2-3 year starter and get a good college degree and move on with your life and not go into financial distress from the college game is a big part of what I do in the off season, and it's tough. It's a tough balance to listen. I thought I was going to the NFL, and I didn't make it. You know, I didn't have the size, speed, athletic ability. It's something that every athlete has to at some point in their life face, and it's hard to be the guy sometimes to explain it to kids. That's for sure.
Now, the one element of high school that I wish I would have took more seriously when I was there was the strength and conditioning program. That we didn't have one. So how are you getting guys physically developed to play at a high level?
I think it takes us back to what we discussed a little bit before, how the game has changed, and the specialization part of it, and the kids having an off season and more recovery time gives them more options, and there's just so much more knowledge out there now than there used to be. It went from just pick up heavy things and walk around with it, or to learning the nutritional aspects of it, the strengthening, the flexibility aspects. There's so much information you can find on the internet. Weeding through what you believe in and what is something you don't believe in, that's a fine line as well. But we do find, if the kids put in the time at this age, they're going to get bigger, stronger, and faster. I mean, they're in the prime growing stages of their life, and just by getting in the weight room, doing the handful of core lifts, making sure they're doing some strength and flexibility things, the difference is their growth is amazing. They really do. They're able to put on weight, and they're able to get faster and stronger every year. Luckily, this year I was able to, with my athletic director, get some new equipment in the weight room. And we got a pretty good setup here. The kids buy into it. They work hard, and getting them in and out of there is also a thing too. Sometimes the kids will want to stay too long, or some kids won't show up, and that's a constant battle. But I had a team meeting the other day, and I told them the kids that put in the time in the off season, I'll know at the first practice, and they'll know it as well. And so I think the biggest thing, the biggest concept is make sure you put the time in and you'll see the development. For the most part, we do a pretty good job here with the off-season stuff. And then a few years back, we went to working out during the season, which we used to find hard to find the time. But as the season wears on, just like any sport, but more so in these physically demanding sports, the student athlete breaks down. The bodies are getting tired, they're getting skinnier, and you can see it. And the past few years, we started going 2, 3, 4 times a week sometimes, getting in the weight room, not going heavy, but putting in some time with that. And I'm blessed to have some assistant coaches that'll put in the time, and we split it up the best we can. And we've really seen the benefits from it. We haven't had the nagging injuries as the season's worn on. Kids look better, they're able to perform better when the games get bigger in the playoffs and stuff. So I'm a big fan of it, something we're going to continue, and I think it's important to find 20 minutes a day to try to get in that weight room at least during the season and keep it going.
All right, Coach, one of the staple questions I always ask, what's your coaching philosophy?
As far as the football game itself, the X's and O's of it, we like to run the ball. We've become more multiple as we can, because like we spoke about before, the days of just running the ball every down are over. But we feel when we can run the ball and play good defense, we are at our best. We like to attack defensively. We don't play a lot of man concepts. We're more of a zone type team, but we try to get after you with our front seven and let our athletes play well in the back end, and that seems to work. Run the ball, be successful in the play action game. And I'm a big screen guy. I think screens, especially at this level, if you can able to execute them well, big plays in the game, and not a hard play to execute. So I'm a big fan of that. And in the past few years, we've gotten very good on special teams. I have a coach who's dedicated to special teams, and stealing points and stealing field position is huge. So when we have those 3 components working, we're a good football team. So it's 3 things that we it's 3 parts of a football game, but it's 3 things that we try to hang our hat on and try to dedicate some time to, and that seems to work for us. As far as overall program, Mostly, I just want kids that'll work. If you're willing to work, if you're willing to deal with the toughness of football, then you can find a spot in this football team. Not everybody's the most athletically gifted. If you're willing to work and you're willing to put in the time, we'll find a spot for you. And I'm blessed in this place, in this school district, to have kids that want to work. So as long as we can get those components together, I think good things happen in Carteret. And that's what we hope to have going forward here. And we're going to do the best we can to just try to keep that rolling.
All right, Coach, if I'm a 9th grader coming to Carteret High School day one and I want to play football, what can I expect my whole career to be here?
I think the first thing is make a commitment to the program. You're going to practice. We work all summer long. We do find time for breaks in the summer, but we do work, and we're going to put in time. Secondly, if you give us what you have in you, if you give us 100%, you'll get it back from the coaches. We're going to be hard on you. We'll be tough. There'll be times you'll probably hate us, but at the end of the day, I think most kids that walk out of this locker room after their senior season respect us and respect the program. And then lastly, and probably the biggest part of this, this program was around long before me, and it'll go on long after me, and I'm just basically the caretaker right now. So the pride in this town and the part of being a Carteret Rambler is what makes this football program special. So the day you put your name on a piece of paper and you agree to be a Carteret football player, then you're making a commitment to this town and to this team. And I expect you, when you're older and you're watching high school football, to have a little bit of this Carteret in you and make sure that you carry on that tradition.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best luck. You already won 2 state championships. We're looking for a 3rd here in the state of New Jersey, but you've done so well here, and we wish you the best luck in 2014. So
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Talk about with the Czar.
You got it. Thanks.